Hey there, Kyle and Steve.
How are you doing today?
Hello, hello. All right, so we are. Oh, how's it going, folks? Steve?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, no problem. I think I missed you last week because I think you did the session at 3 rather than 5, and I wasn't able to make it at 5. So I apologize that I didn't see your message.
Oh, I don't even think I did it last week. I think I completely canceled out of it for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Well, hey, Joe, there you are. Kyle, how's it going?
Hey, Jared.
What's going on here? Oh. All right. Hey guys. Trying to get my lights to work. Just do that. Okay, there we go. Oh, all right. Well, welcome. Get recording. Oh, it is recording. Okay, it is recording. Yeah. Well, welcome. Kyle, what you been up to?
So I've been continuing the data table stuff and working on that. So hoping to have something to share with you today, but it's all in the production environment, so I can't really share that. I do have some other features I could show off, but
sure, if you want to take a few minutes and do that, that'd be great. Joe's here for a specific reason. We're going to try to get something up and running for him, and I'll demonstrate what I'm going to do for the auto enter presentation next week. So yeah,
I hear you're doing some charting, so that's cool.
Yeah, we'll see. What do you got there, Kyle?
Let's see. You guys off. So yeah, I have a few different things. I have I was creating a bunch of games just for fun. So I was creating a Yahtzee, and then I think I've shown this one probably to you a few times. But basically, you can roll the dice, you can select some of them, which freezes them. And then, yeah. So then you select one, and you can roll again. So that's kind of a fun one. This is actually 5 web viewers at the top, and then I just have some. I believe these were button bars, and then I just kind of formatted them all. Yeah. So they're button bars, and then I just have some fields here that are. I think those are hidden. No. So. Okay. Yeah. So it totals everything up at the bottom. If I reset. So as I'm rolling these, it's trying to figure out what the numbers are. And then, yeah, I can do that. Roll, obviously that's 5. See if I can get a Yahtzee. So close. But yeah, so I click this button. So this is all one button, and it's formatted so that way I can see what my options are. So you can see I have a 3 of a kind, a 4 of a kind, a chance. It gives me what the values are for each of them. Then I can select one and it'll save it. And then it gives me my total upper, grand total, all of that. Then I got some high score thing. So I kind of did it here as well, just so I thought it was going to show me the values here. So the moment you select roll all dice, it already knows what all these are going to land on, which is kind of cool. So it allows me to kind of script it ahead of time. Then I have a pause so that it doesn't display it instantly to the user. So it was kind of fun. See, that was another one I did. Minesweeper. This is all just button bars. And so I can select one of these. So I had to come up with an algorithm that could look at all these empty spaces and then find one number space all the way around. So that was a challenge. And then I had to count the number of bombs for each of those cells. And and then if you hit a bomb. Oh, it went right away. Okay, so I'm having some bad luck there, but yeah, so that was a bit of a challenge getting that to work, and then I can do the flags on top for if I know they're bombs. And so yeah, that's just something I did for fun. Let's see what else do I got. So this is another thing that I was playing around with, because oftentimes we want to be able to create a custom dialogue that has more than just a, a couple entry fields. And so sometimes we want to be able to have a checkbox in our custom dialogues. Maybe we want to have a table and to be able to sort the table columns, to be able to select a cell, have it do something. Okay. Then I got a pop-up menu that comes down. So this is all one layout. Each of these, it looks like a different layout. It looks like a completely different message. Even the size of this adjusts to fit everything. And it's the only difference is the JSON I'm feeding into the script. And it can create a custom, it can use value lists, or I can create a custom one dynamically and feed it into here. Because it's HTML, I can make the list be whatever I want it to be, which is pretty cool. As I select it, it's actually adjusting everything. If I go to my data viewer, so let's go to username, password. And so this was empty. I'm not sure what this is. Let's do my name. So kind of see what the JSON looks like that's in the button. So I can adjust the background color. I can adjust the column widths, the row. I can customize the message to be whatever I want it to be. And then I'm basically using a table for each of these, table with rows. So each element on here is within a table in a row. And then I just tell it what I want for each of the columns. So I want to have the username and the tooltip. So the username has the tooltip on it. And then I tell it what field I want it to update, and then what the current values are. Then when I go to save, it's going to update it. So if I say debugger, I go into here. So it's closed it, but it's got all the variables. So right here, it's going to set the name of the field with the data that's in the JSON, basically. And it'll loop through all the different objects and update everything to those fields that's previously mapped. Then I got a little color selector here, which is kind of fun. So if I do green, yeah, so it's going to update the fields, whatever I have previously mapped to it. And of course, there's the HTML date selector, time selector. So
can I see the time selector?
Sure. So the time selector, this is HTML. It's basically just an input item. So I didn't really customize this. This is actually built into the Safari. So it's using Safari on a Mac. So it'll look a little different. It'll act a little different on Windows because I didn't customize it. So there are a bunch of JavaScript libraries out there that work with dates and times, and you can make much better date and time selectors by using something custom. So this is just all native, built into the web browser. So yeah, and then I got a search field, but yeah, just different input types that are built into the browser. So let's see, how do I stop sharing? So that's kind of just some random stuff I've created in the past. I'm sorry I don't have something better for you, but
Really cool stuff.
yeah, just when you have spare time, you just play around and you want to learn more JavaScript and HTML, and so that's kind of stuff we come up with when we're bored.
Cool, thanks. Orlando, you showed some stuff earlier today in the early one. Did you want to, because this is a whole new group, did you want to share anything again, Orlando?
Yeah, no, I think it was just the date range picker.
Yeah, show that.
So just a slight modification. Yeah, I can show. I'm sure people here have seen it, but I'll just do a quick screen share. Just find it again. Where have I left it? Wasn't prepared for this.
You should always be prepared.
Should have been prepared. I should have been ready from earlier. Should have known. Yeah, so just so you know, turn that off. Yeah, so it's this date range picker that we went through as part of the course with Jeremy. But one of the things that I just wanted to work around was the fact that it didn't have anything to trigger it opening. You had to click into the date field, or you had to click into a field within the HTML to trigger that. And I wanted to use it for something on screen FileMaker that you could pick a date range. So I just wanted it in a pop-up or a card, but then when you trigger it, I wanted it to open automatically. So let me just find the code. So I found a piece of code online, doing some fancy research, and within the basic settings in the index.js file. At the end, I discovered if you just put that line in, it will effectively act. It will do the click into the field for you. So then it will pop the calendar and the picker up straight away. So you don't need to launch the web viewer, and then the user doesn't have to click into the date field to open this up. And then within this, I've got some other triggers to pull the date in or the date range, but also if you click outside, it will close the popover as well, even if there's no selection. So that was my bit of investigative work last week. Yeah, cool. So and that's on my GitHub if anyone wants to grab that, and I'll post something in the community as well.
Cool, great. Oh, very good. Joe, what have you been working on? I know you out in the community, but have you been doing any more JavaScript stuff?
No, I mean, no, I've been pretty busy with other stuff, and I had COVID, and my wife had some. Yeah, I was all. My house was falling apart. Had a lot of disasters here, but I want to try to, get back into it, and I don't want to forget what I learned, And I told my boss about it. And he's like, "Well, we could use some navigation." Like a navigation thing in our systems, figure that out. And so that's what I started working on.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so let's take a look at that.
Okay.
And Steve, how about you? You said you made some progress?
So I've been playing around with the question that I put in the forum and made some progress on one of them. And then the second one, I'm making some progress on. And I don't think it's something that can be done right within FileMaker from what I'm seeing. So I started playing around with using Apple's shortcuts and thought that would be a good alternative because it can work on iOS and Mac OS. But then I ran into a problem with Safari and shortcuts, even though it's configured in Safari correctly, in shortcuts, it throws an error with JavaScript. It's a permissions thing, even though the permissions are all set up correctly within shortcuts. So I posted on a forum, an Apple forum, to see if I can get an answer, but nothing yet on that.
Okay, you're you're moving forward with that a little bit. It feels like that's out of my like realm. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and
about
I'm not sure that FileMaker can actually do it from what I'm seeing here. It looks like in FileMaker, from what I'm seeing here, is that you have to load a library or code into the Webviewer and then execute on that. Whereas what I'm trying to do is execute a third-party website and put inputs and then extract the results. So I'm not sure that can really be done with FileMaker at this time within the Webviewer. I think I can do it by kicking off either a shortcut and having shortcuts handle it and then bring back the results to FileMaker.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the route I'm going right now. And I've also been doing a lot of research on the coding for the JavaScript.
Cool. Well, I'm going to do another set of trainings in, when is it, early August, I think is when I'm going to start. So if you want to join me,
I'll check that out.
it's a good place, and I'll be demonstrating. I mean, every time you come here, I'm working in the environment stuff, and that's just kind of the stuff that I've got here. So turn now to what Joe was asking about. He posted this in this how to bring a library into my library. So Joe, you were working with this library here, and
Yep.
you were wondering how to get it into a repository or make a little widget, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah. So that's a good question, and I actually it spurred me to think about some content to create. Number one, I want to create sort of a getting started series that helps people see how to get started with different libraries. And the whole point is to show people the patterns that are there. I'm big on patterns. I am working on a blog post about JavaScript library patterns, but typically, there are patterns that libraries follow to get them installed. And this had one of them. And, it was your first time doing it outside of what you had done with me. So I pointed to this, and this was kind of the getting started. So did you were you able to do this, and you did?
Yeah. So this was great. I got here, I was able to do that install successfully.
Great.
I was able to, I added that first line, that import metis menu.
Yeah.
I added that to my .js file. I didn't try these other ones. Maybe I should have, but I did that first one.
Okay, great. Yeah, so it looks like it's you do one of these two methods. This require is an older keyword that isn't used as much anymore. This library gives us two options to do the import, but if we ever see this word import, we want to use that one instead of this old require one. What it just does is it just takes everything that's found in this folder, and it puts it inside of this variable. It basically, every functionality, everything that this thing can do is put inside of this variable, and then we get to use that library we've imported into this variable as a function. So the parentheses are the function there, and it allows us to pass in this case, we're passing in a div where the ID is menu, and we're going to pass in a bunch of options.
So yeah, so we actually have to do both of those things.
You do the import, and then you create a new instance. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I actually did that. I got started with it, and here's all I've got so far with mine, but I did the import. First of all, I installed it. So it's now in my node modules folder somewhere down here. Meta, MET, right here. So all of this is now sort of packed into this variable. This function right here, this is the function. and it takes two parameters. It takes a div string, a string that tells it where do you want to apply this functionality. And then apparently you can pass it a bunch of options, and I'm not quite sure what the options do yet, or what there are, but there we go. So when I did this, I mean, if I remove this and I look at this, I just have I have some basic HTML where it's just a list. It's an unordered list
Right.
tag, and then a list tag for the first section, and then a tag for the second section. So I built the structure, and it took me a while to remember exactly how to do this. I actually had to look it up because I wasn't quite sure myself. But I can, at least for now, I hard coded it in the HTML.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to do this without hard coding, but at least I've got a sample sort of set up.
Right.
So I've got this, but it doesn't do anything. So as soon as I put that back, you saw it kind of flex toggle over here, but now I've got the functionality built in. Or I've got the functionality working to where, well, I don't know what this does. Not important for me, I guess. But that index.html file, the structure there now allows me to work with this, because I have a unordered list here with an ID of menu. That is what the JavaScript is looking at. And so now I can start playing with it and working with it. So this is where I got, and I was actually playing around with Bootstrap with some styling, trying to make it look nice, whatever. So what were you trying to do with this?
Well, I didn't get as far as you got.
Oh,
I certainly didn't get my HTML to use it properly. And then I looked at their sample file, the sample file of this library, and I saw stuff that I wasn't, I didn't see how to, it seemed very different to me, or
Yep.
it seemed not very different, but it seemed to be doing things that I wasn't, seeing how to do.
Sure.
But this, so you put in the two style sheets, or how many style sheets did you put in?
Yeah.
Up above, because they only tell you about two, but then when you look in the sample file, they're using other ones.
Yeah. So Bootstrap is the first one. Then there's a font awesome, which allows you, I guess, to use some different fonts. Or I think it's different, might be different icons or something. The themes Prism, I actually don't know what all this does. My assumption is some of it, like animate, maybe if I removed this link and I refreshed it, no, I'm still getting some animation. I don't know what all those do, and I haven't been able to research them yet. But
so you added style sheets. You still have the one, the regular one, the src style.css.
I don't particularly need it because I'm not going to overwrite the styles. I just leave it in there because it's part of the package, and it just happens. So yeah.
Okay, and then where do you put those script lines?
So none of, at least here in the head tag, there's no scripts, because I know their example. Let's see if we can find it. So you don't have to include the plugin's code because we are importing it. And I think that's the tricky part about their documentation isn't clear. This, if we were to put this in, it's exactly the same thing that we did here. We are connecting to the library in this way, or in that way that the example shows. So we don't need both of those.
Okay.
We either put this in the, I could do this. I could put it in the head tag somewhere, probably after the styles.
Yeah.
I could remove this, and I think it might work. Yeah, it's still going to work because that's just the same library that we're pointing to.
Okay.
If I
Got
remove
it.
that, then I lose the functionality.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah.
So let's go back to VS Code.
So then when you go back to what you were just looking at,
Yep. Let me get that.
so I brought in this down here with the area expanded in section 4.
Yeah.
I brought in that, I adjusted the names of the menus, and it worked, but it wasn't linked to the library. It was just some HTML essentially.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Say that again.
Well,
So,
I
go
took
ahead.
this, but I think I hadn't I think because I had, if you look at line up section 2, or section 1, I guess, where is it? Higher up, I guess. Yeah, because I didn't do the
this.
create new instance. I think, nothing was working.
Yep. Cool. So yeah. Okay. So if you add that and you then get rid of the, I hate it when documentation does this because you got to go in and you got to update it. But if you put this in there as is, then this is telling, and you do that, create a new instance, this is telling that this library to work with these lists
Yeah.
in this different way, right?
Okay.
Let me do something here because now I am going to use that. I'm going to do margin top, I don't know, 30. See if that, I'm not sure if that, maybe it's 30 pixels. There we go. Just get it away from the margin left. Yeah, just get it away. Now there's some styling that needs to be like, I hate the point, the dots. So I need to
Right.
know how to get rid of those. And there's some padding issues and such, but those are all, those come from, I was actually doing some research on the styling and Bootstrap to see if I could find a way to handle that. But that's as far as I got.
Okay.
Let me think here. Stopping the list, opening on certain elements. So there's, okay, so here are the options. So for auto collapse support, I don't know what that means for auto collapse support. So let's remove that. Just put it back to true. Okay, so that it just auto collapses, maybe false. Nope, I don't know what that's doing. So true. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see.
Ah,
It's collapsing one when you try to open up another. Okay.
yeah.
I love that I can just, play with this and test it out. That's nice. Trigger elements. Oh, that's interesting. I have to explore that. What else do we have? Those are the events. So there's not a whole lot of options with this trigger element. Okay, so this is telling if I put in a trigger element, then it's not going to trigger. It's not going to trigger on everything. It's only going to trigger, it's only going to trigger if I have a class called navlink. So so we'll look at that in a minute. So because Joe, you gave me a whole different library to look at, right?
It is? I think it's supposed to just be an example from this library.
Is it? Okay, let's
Yeah, I
take a look
didn't
at that.
intend to give you a second library.
Oh, that's interesting. That's actually what I was looking for. So let's get rid of that. Get rid of that.
You post this session to YouTube so I can review it?
Yes. Yep.
Great.
As long as I'm recording it, yes, I am. Okay, so now I'm kind of on the way.
Yeah, for sure.
What I would want to do is go into Bootstrap and try to bootstrap nav link. Nav. So so this is what I'm kind of trying to come up with, where we've got, so what I might do is look at these examples, take the UL, the unordered list, go back to my VS Code, and wherever I have one, oh, there we go. That's exactly what I was looking for, at least that. So that was navbar nav. So let's go to here and do class equals navbar nav. Wait, this one. Ah, love it. Might do some, I don't know if, I don't know. Oh, it's P-23. I don't know. There we go. That's kind of what I'm looking for. P left -3. Nope. Let's do that. Bootstrap.
Oh, this is Bootstrap stuff.
Yeah. So I'm just tapping into it. So PL. I'll do PX. I'll try PX. PX. PX-3. There we go. That's beautiful. So now I'll add that to the other unordered list. So now I've got an unordered list where I'm going to put that to false. I've got an unordered list. There we go. So now I'm on my way. But this is what I do. This is what I do all day for people, or
Yeah.
or whatever. Just monkey around with this, play with it, and see what I can come up with. So
no, this is great. Thank you very much.
yeah, does this help you move forward a little bit with this?
I think so. And if it doesn't, I'll just study the video until it does. I'm sure I can work it out.
Now you do need to, I think you mentioned like some navigation. So these are like layouts that you would go to, right?
Yeah, likely these would be different modules. You'd click on detail students or details, and it would run a script that would take you to that module.
Yeah.
Yeah. But step one, I'll just get the appearance working.
So the other one that you gave me,
it's supposed to be the same one. It's not supposed to be different.
I don't think it is.
Really? Okay. Then that was an accident.
No, it's fine. It's just, so they're using jQuery here. They're using an Accordion Js library.
So this is a whole different library.
Yeah, it's better in my opinion because it works with an array of objects. So this could come from FileMaker simply, and this will construct this up here pretty simply.
This is the one I wanted.
Okay.
But I was trying to figure out how to get this library.
Yeah, this is nice.
And I ended up at that GitHub page, and I guess that was not right.
No, this is nicer because you can you can tell it to use some glyphs.
Yeah.
I think the glyphs either are in jQuery or are in this here. The problem is, okay, so let's take a look at this one. So Accordion Js. Accordion, oh, I had it. Accordion Js. So I was looking at this. They have an install. They have an import.
Okay.
So here is your JavaScript import.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, this CSS will need to be added to the index.html. And we did this with that C3 charting library when we worked on that. So you can
Right.
refer back to that.
Yep. Yep.
And then, so I don't know. It's interesting what it's doing here. Let's see here, options. So there's, I don't actually see. So I don't fully know, because what they're doing here is they're AC. Is this Accordion JS? Yeah. I'm gonna have to play with this, but it looks like I would have to. I don't know what it's. I don't know where that. I don't know where is it? Multi-level working. I think this is an even different one. It looks like this is an even different one. What is it? It is, go to the website. Yeah, it's jQuery accordion menu. So
I see.
this is probably the one you would want.
Yeah. This is the one I was trying to get, but I get the wrong one somehow.
I'm not sure how to, this person doesn't have a way to install it, so I'm not quite sure. So, I mean, I understand what they're doing. It's not that difficult. It's just they don't provide an easy way like the others.
Yeah.
Oh, they are using Accordion. I see what they're doing. So they're using Accordion, but they branched off of it and they constructed additional functionality that takes an array of data and it will pass it into the JavaScript. The Accordion library, it doesn't have any way to give it data. You would construct the HTML yourself like this, and then you know, it would pick that up. So well, let's just do it quick. Sorry, I'm gonna just do it quick. All right, so we'll do that. We'll do, wait, what am I doing? A sec, let me get to my other profile. All right. Accordion. Well, that's not too bad though. It's simple. Would the layout stuff be would the layout names and such, would they be hard, like would they change often enough that you would want FileMaker to send it the data, or could it be hard coded and then updated once in a while?
I mean, in an ideal world, it would run a navigation script and pass a parameter. You know, depending on the button that you clicked, it would all run the same script, and it would just pass, let's say, the button name,
Uh-huh.
as the parameter, and that would be it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. And that makes sense. So this you have to construct it this way. Let's do the install. The install here, and then we'll go to the JS. It's funny how I've done this so many times. It's just kind of like it's boring. It's a little tedious at times to do this. I know that seems craziness, but it's how it is. All right, so do that, and then I need to get the CSS. I'm going to see if this works, but I don't think it's going to. All right, so now let's do an npm start. Sorry, I gotta move my windows around again. All right, there we go. Okay, so now I've got it. If I load it, I think my unexpected token. That's probably all right. So let's do this. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so whatever. Oh, maybe it did work. Let me put it over here though. We're gonna do, and we did this in our session 2, import. And then I'm gonna go to that node modules folder, Accordion Js, dist, copy relative path, paste it in there. Okay. There we go. Okay, so it was the same, so that did work. Okay, I don't know what it's doing here. Okay, so I'm not getting an error anymore. I am still getting an error. Huh. Something's wrong in their code, it looks like. Wait, is that mine? Wait, what did I do? Oh. I'm gonna put this up there. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Look at that.
So I had to build this structure, and this is obviously just now. There's nothing wrong with this. I could build this from scratch using JavaScript. I could take in records from FileMaker that give me the layout names, and I could build this. Joe, I'm not sure if we did that with the buttons in that manipulating data section, but
yeah,
this is not that difficult to build. I could build this one for each navigation that I'm interested in.
right.
So.
Okay, well, I'll look at it. I mean, we would have a table of a nav table where each record was the name of the module, and I'd want to pass it that array of module names.
Yeah, that would be useful for many. Orlando or Kyle, do you have a navigation system? I can't hear you. Kyle, you're muted.
Yeah, so I was gonna actually show you, I was gonna ask if I could share my screen and show you some of the things I've done for navigation.
Cool.
Let's see. All right, so I'm not sure. Are you seeing the JavaScript integrations demo?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things I've done is I've used W3's accordion here, and so yeah. So if I make it a little smaller, So here I can update the stuff through JavaScript. I can update the inner HTML, add elements to the beginning. So using JavaScript, I can add a bunch of different accordions to it. I can add more to the end here. So I'm just going to close that. It's a little crazy. So yeah, basically what I have here is a universal web viewer. This is a demo file I can share with you, so you can kind of see what I've done, and you can get all the functions I have in the background. So if I go into body script, kind of see what it's doing here. So I got several functions in here for the accordion, update HTML. So updating the text on each of the buttons to HTML or text, adding a new button, new div. So just a bunch of stuff I've pre-configured in here. And then I have all these buttons at the bottom that perform these functions and pass a parameter to each of these. So it's a demo. And something I've done with this using that same script. If I go into here, debugger, and if I go to the correct layout. So this is, so you saw the navigation that was there. So I've been working on building this with JavaScript instead, because they have several different navigation layouts for each different user. And I wanted to create one layout that could work for all the different users.
Sure.
So yeah, this is, I created a bunch of SVGs, so I'm just basically selecting which ones I want. So I'm building a list of the possible ones. And at the end, I'm saying include these ones from this list. And I'm making a list of all the SVGs I want to include. And then, so then I come back to my accordion navigation, HTML, so Webviewer. So basically it loaded the click up here. It loaded this stuff into the footer. So all of this that you see is in the footer. So it's just universal for all of them. And then it goes through and loads the different menu options. And just one by one, it's loading it all in. And so this was kind of a pre-step to actually creating just a function that'll work from JSON. So I could make a JSON object with all of this, or a JSON array, I mean. And I can just feed the WebViewer the JSON, and the WebViewer JavaScript will do all this inside the WebViewer rather than doing it in the script. But this is just for demonstration purposes, showing that, you know, I'm performing JavaScript in the WebViewer. I'm testing all the different functions that I have, making sure it's all working as expected. And so basically I'm creating the exact same thing that we saw on the other layout. So slightly bigger, but basically it works the same. I got the on hover. If I select one of these, say if I go, oh, there it goes. So yeah, it's performing the script when I select it, and then it's trying to figure out what layout to go to based on that selection. Yeah. So that's something I've done. So I have another one that I did a long time ago. So this is something I did, feels like 2 years ago now. It says February 6th last year, I guess. But basically with this, I can do, I was playing around with navigation a while back. And so I have my vertical nav bar, which, you know, shows which layout I'm on. You can see it change up here too. And so this is just kind of an idea that I had a long time ago. And I wanted to also have an option to do horizontal navigation to do the same thing. And I'm just loading SVGs again into here. So I can create my own SVGs very easily. I can integrate it into the WebViewer. I can add it to these buttons. Super easy to do. So yeah, it's just a couple different options. I can share these demo files with you if you want.
That'd be great. Thank you.
So yeah, I think that's all I had. But yeah, I just wanted to show you some other options. So I'm using the W3 accordion in my demo. And so then I'm just modifying it until it becomes a navigation bar. So yeah, that should be helpful.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle.
Cool. Have you done anything with this, Orlando?
No, not yet. But I had seen your post, Joe, so I was going to have a look into this one because it looks quite interesting, or the one you posted anyway. So I'll report back next time if I've had a look.
Yeah, cool. I didn't realize it was two different libraries.
No worries, no worries. Wonderful. Well, I think that about does it for today. I'm busy trying to prepare for 2 weeks. Got to get my video recorded by next week. And for the auto enter. But is there anybody Angel City Data doing? Wait, are you? Yeah, Joe, you're at Angel City.
Yeah, I'm an Angel City.
Yeah.
There's definitely interest. I know Jake really wants to take your class.
You should. Everybody there should.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
been talking about it? Have you been telling them about it? I mean, other than you getting.
Yeah. I
called.
mean, they're waiting for me to do a demo.
Ah.
But I will be. I definitely talked and I definitely said it was great.
Well, that's all I wanted to hear. So cool. Well, that's good. Thanks for joining me again. We will have office hours next week, but we won't have it the 19th. So that because that's when auto enter is. It's 2 weeks from today. So we'll do that. But Steve, was this interesting to you to just watch people fumble around in JavaScript for a bit?
It is. I'm always learning something from all of you. I'm picking up little tips and stuff, so I think that's helpful.
Good. Well, the biggest tip is take the course and be part of that. Right, Orlando? Right, Joe? Yeah.
So I did post a link to my Dropbox demo file.
I saw that. Thank you. I grabbed it.
JavaScript and FileMaker demo. So there's a lot of demos in there. There's over 50 Webviewer demos, so check that out.
Okay.
You're bound to learn quite a bit just from checking all those out. So
Awesome. Thanks, Kyle.
yep.
All right, everyone. Have a good day. I will talk to you next week then.
Okay. Thanks,
All
everyone.
right, thanks, Jeremy.
Bye.
Thank you.